Alex Pereira believes Israel Adesanya is delaying their matches because the UFC middleweight champion is scared of him. Let's get into the story. Looking to dethrone the champion, Alex Pereira, a former two-division Glory champion, believes he knows how to dethrone UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya under MMA rules. In kickboxing, Poatan defeated Adesanya twice, first by decision in China in 2016, then by a nasty, unforgettable knockout the following year in Brazil. Pereira is currently 2-0 under the UFC banner and doesn't expect Adesanya to volunteer for a third bout anytime soon. In an interview with Stake in February, Adesanya rejected talk of the Brazilian as premature, while admitting he's curious to watch how Pereira fares in the UFC. Adesanya stated that he's looking forward to that arc in his novel. Alex Poatan Pereira quite genuinely laughed at the statements on this week's edition of MMA Fighting's Portuguese language podcast, Chacacau Franca. Pereira chuckled while saying that him laughing is a rare occurrence, but Adesanya's remarks appear to have done exactly that. He then questioned how Adesanya can claim to be eager to fight him. If he were in his circumstance and was anxious enough to fight someone, as Adesanya claims he is, he would have said book it right away when he heard Alex Pereira has signed with the UFC. He went on to explain that because of Israel's standing inside the organization, he could simply say, ask him if he wants to fight me right now. Let go of Robert Whittaker and reschedule this fight. The decisions are made by me. I want it if Alex wants it. Pereira believes Israel is scared. That's what he'd do if he truly wanted to fight someone. In Alex's perspective, if Adesanya claims he can't wait to face Alex but only will do it after 15 fights, he's not exactly eager to do so. Alex then stated that getting to him is more difficult than beating him, and he believes Israel is aware of this. He knows how Alex beat him earlier because he battled him twice and he's now scared. Alex believes Adesanya refuses to face how tough Alex is and that he isn't eager to fight him. He simply wants him to slip tomorrow so he can say, is this the person you want me to fight? Are you crazy? Go back to the end of the line. He'll keep running from him. Pereira went on to claim that he's deceiving his fans and he should be put under pressure to fight. Pereira's presence in the UFC annoys Adesanya. Adesanya is scheduled to defend his 185-pound title against Jared Cannonier at a later date, while Pereira is scheduled to face fellow Brazilian striker Bruno Silva on Saturday at UFC Vegas 50. Poatan isn't expecting an instant chance at Adesanya if he wins at UFC Vegas 50. Having said that, he's well aware that his presence in the UFC already irritates the champion. Pereira claims that Adesanya grew accustomed to the fact that he would never see him again. He then stated that he observed his bout with Whittaker and was able to predict what he would do based on his movements. He could identify when he was going to kick and when he was going to punch, and he's convinced he knows how to beat him. In the UFC middleweight category, Israel Adesanya had reigned supreme. He hasn't only established a legitimate body of work inside the cage, but he has also emerged as one of the biggest superstars in the game right now, as well as the UFC's second most paid fighter. With a clear dearth of suitable choices, he'll most likely certainly face Jared Cannonier in his quest for his 6th title defense. Their history. Alex Pereira, a Brazilian kickboxing superstar, faced Adesanya twice in the kickboxing ring and defeated him both times. Pereira met Adesanya for the first time in April 2016 at Glory of Heroes 1. After 3 rounds, Poatan surpassed Adesanya and won by unanimous decision. The contestants remet a year later at Glory of Heroes 15. Pereira won the rematch with a more decisive victory. After some initial success inside the boxing ring for Adesanya, the style bender boldly came inside Pereira's range on a regular basis. As soon as Adesanya stepped into range, after delivering the left high kick, Pereira delivered a precisely calculated left hook that put him down cold. UFC news. Magomed Ankalaev versus Thiago Santos. Magomed Ankalaev won a 5-round unanimous decision against former light heavyweight championship contender Thiago Santos in the UFC Fight Night main event, extending his winning streak to 8 fights. The number 6 ranked Ankalaev, who is currently 17-1, won 49, 46, 49-46, and 48-47. Santos, rated 5th, is defeated 22-10. There was little activity in the opening 90 seconds. Then Ankalaev broke the stalemate with a pair of right hands that connected and drew Santos' attention. 3 minutes in, and it was a left that threw the Brazilian off balance as he had struggled to get his own offense going in the first 5 minutes. Both were busier to begin round 2, but Santos was still landing nothing noteworthy, while Ankalaev landed a good right hand left kick combo. Santos, on the other hand, won the round in the final 30 seconds with the left over the top that floored the Russian. With the battle likely tied on the scorecards, the duo had 3 rounds to move ahead and take the fight, and while each fighter increased their work rate, neither was able to make a decisive statement to win the round. Santos took over as the leader of the dance in the 4th minute, and he enjoyed success in the 1st minute before settling back into a counter-striking position as Ankalaev advanced forward. Ankalaev locked up with Santos against the fence in the last minute and earned his first takedown, a significant scoring moment for the Russian. There was still very little substantial action in the 5th, but Ankalaev clinched his win on the scorecards with his grappling effort against the fence, preventing Santos from attempting a late push. Jake Paul wants to fight McGregor or Masvidal. Jake Paul has stated that he'll be willing to fight once in the UFC, either Conor McGregor or Jorge Masvidal, subject to certain conditions. In a statement to ESPN on Saturday, the YouTube influencer turned boxer claimed he would sign a one-fight UFC deal to participate in MMA against either, again, McGregor or Masvidal, with a wager on the line. Paul originally mentioned the notion on Twitter on Saturday morning. If Paul wins, he wants the UFC to put up a plan to pay fighters 50% of business earnings and provide comprehensive health care. If Paul loses, he has stated that he'll donate his whole purse to UFC fighters earning less than $50,000 each fight, and he has stated that he'll never mention the UFC again. According to documents mentioned in the antitrust action file against the UFC, fighter compensation accounts for around 18 to 20% of business income. The UFC has yet to reply to Paul's proposition, which is unusual for the organization. However, UFC President Dana White, who has openly feuded with Paul over the last year, has stated that he would not rule out Paul competing in the UFC in the future in an interview with TSN earlier this year. Paul and his colleagues have said that they want to pursue the plan. In his statement, Paul mentioned wanting to be more like Marvin Miller, the former Major League Baseball Players Association executive who helped the Baseball Players Union become one of the strongest in the country. The fighters in the UFC are not unionized and are classified as independent contractors. Dustin Poirier remains uninterested in fighting Colby Covington. Dustin Poirier is still not interested in a fight with Colby Covington, regardless of what his old American top team partner says. Poirier, 28-7 in MMA, 20-6 in the UFC, had previously stated prior to Covington's caustic call-out at UFC 272 earlier this month that he wouldn't give the fight any consideration. Nothing appears to have changed since Covington, who's 17-3 in MMA, 12-3 in UFC, assaulted Poirier and his family on the microphone following his victory over Jorge Masvidal in their main event grudge bout. "It's cute," Poirier told ESPN backstage at UFC Fight Night 203 on Saturday. Poirier, 33 years of age, is coming off a submission loss to lightweight champion Charles Oliveira at UFC 269 in December. He's since been eyeing a bout with Nate Diaz, which remains his first objective for a summer comeback to the cage. Poirier is aware that there's some public interest in seeing him resolve a personal dispute with Covington, who's 34, but he reiterated his earlier position that he's not interested in engaging in this specific battle. Song Yadong versus Marlon Moraes. Song Yadong of China made the most of his co-main event opportunity by knocking out veteran bantamweight contender Marlon Moraes in the first round. Song got out to a fantastic start, striking Moraes with hard right hands. The Brazilian handled the blows well and fired back, but 2 minutes in, another right hand landed flush and put Moraes down. With Moraes dazed, referee Keith Peterson called a halt to the fight at the 2-minute and 6-second mark of the first round. With the victory, the number 14 ranked Song improved to 19-5 with one no contest. Moraes, who was rated number 10, now has a record of 23-10 and one no contest. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of Israel Adesanya delaying his bout with Alex Pereira? Or is he? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.